You ain't never seen a man turn leg gold with his hands. You ain't never seen a man get a queen wet with a glance. Water turn wine, whole wide world mine in my mind. In and out of time, my light shine bright for the blind. Something about the way I do it. 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 Said I'm gonna be a millionaire soon, but I already knew it. I'ma die the bullets fluid. All this winning therapeutic. Something about the way I do it. Something about the way I do it. They be trying to drain my energy up with the battery is not included. Women trying to be recruited. Let them do it, then I bought it. What is cute, then she falling. Something about the way I do it. I remember playing ring around the rosy. Now I got a pocket full of OZs. Water dollars, wallet full of old cheese. Got a Glock, a cock and pop a police. Block a boom, shaka laka, bada shot him while he rock a rosary. Got your mama watching out the nose.
Peace, family. Welcome to another episode Underground Railroad Productions. This your host, Brother Rich, aka Black Magik, in here with the twin pillars.
Wagwan.
Welcome back, brothers.
Peace.
Before we start, I want to shout out everybody that showed love for the Black Magik video, man. Got so much love, phone calls, emails, texts, comments.
You already.
I mean, the support was overwhelming. I appreciate it. Make sure you try to get that on your local radio station. We trying to get this to the masses. You see what type of music our youth is listening to. So if there's anybody out there that can help push this to the next level, definitely holla at me. Holla at the Pills. Holla at Cambatta. Let us know. Let's make that happen.
You need to go all the way up.
Yeah, indeed. With that, and you could go to cambattamusic.com to buy the album. The album is called The Holy Ghost. You could go there, cop the album, voted top 10 album of 2017 by Complex Magazine. So yeah, make sure you show support.
TwitterAlbum.com. Executive produced by Cambatta.
When is that's dropping in April, right?
It's coming in April. Yes, indeed.
Okay.
All right.
Can't wait for that. Can't wait for that right there. We're gonna be on the lookout for that. And with that being said, man, what we gonna do today, pillars? For those who don't know, man, we put in our work. Right now it's 11:45 on what's that? Tuesday?
Yeah,
What's that? Tuesday. So yeah, we be here late night, sometime early. You know, we put in work. We do what we gotta do.
After a full day of work.
After a full day of work, indeed. After a full day of work, these brothers, they been printing they shirts, they clothing.
And I've been shipping them gold orders out. Thank you, everybody.
Man, yo, I meant to tell you, Blue. Yo, listen.
Yeah.
Yo, the last 2 days, bro. You know how they say in the morning, they say drink a glass of water because it goes straight to your organs.
Yeah.
I've been drinking the liquid gold in my water first thing in the morning. Energy levels been off the hook.
It's
First thing in the morning, I don't even drink. I go straight to the kitchen, put the liquid gold in the water, drink it. Energy levels off the Richter scale.
Listening to Jay-Z while you do it, right?
Nah, no Jay-Z, no sir.
The 444.
No sir.
You know.
No sir. I'm listening to my thoughts while I'm doing that.
That's right.
My thoughts while I'm doing that.
That's like you
put
in the sun in a cup of water and ingest it.
Yeah. Blue got something special, y'all. Like I said, Blue got something special. Make sure y'all cop it. My life has been different since I've tried it. I slept on it for about 7 years since the brother had it. I finally tried it, and my life's been different. Give him the website, my brother.
SoulGoldBiz.com, SoulGoldBiz.com. Again, thank you to everyone who has showed love, you know what I'm saying, and gifted themselves with a piece of gold, with a piece of sun, brought some sun into their lives. So we thank you. And let's get them testimonials pouring in from the family out there. I didn't know so many people were suffering with migraine issues. I think that you really struck a chord with
when I said that.
There are people who have been suffering who have no remedy. You know what I'm saying? They just know the super strength Advil, Motrin, whatever that stuff is.
Nigga, it's stressful out here.
Yeah, it's very stressful. There's not too much remedy, and people are at a loss because migraines are debilitating. You know what I'm saying? Like, that'll put you out of business.
Yeah.
So I'm honored to be of service and to help the people in the areas in which they need it, that I can provide it. Thank you again.
Your Mama Pill will be proud, man.
Mama Pill is proud. Thank you.
Yo, so let's start. What we gonna do today? We gonna go around the globe in 60 minutes. Man, it's
Remember the sports show? What was it?
Yeah.
On Sunday nights? Around the globe.
yo, man. So many things are happening, man. A lot of it is distraction. A lot of it we have to use it and get motivated by it. And it's just good to know what's going on, to know how you got to move. Let's start out with what's going on in South Africa, because we haven't talked about that's been going on for a while. The land with the farmers and everything. Talk to me real quick about what's going on and alert the family what's going on in South Africa.
Well, what's taking place in South Africa right now is the government is they're in not just talks, but they're actually moving forward with the plans to take back the farmland, or what is known as the farmland, from these European colonizers who were basically utilizing the labor of black South Africans on acres of land to produce produce and basically basically making wealth off of them. I saw a video where they had a South African, an Aboriginal, and he was like, these people don't even come on this land. Like, they'll pull up in their bikes or they'll pull up in their trucks to collect, the work.
So they have them toiling?
They're toiling the fields. They're toiling the soil. They're basically sharecropping.
Okay.
You feel me? On their own ancestral land.
And remind me, we have a story to juxtapose with that when you finish. So let's not lose that point.
So the Europeans, the colonizers, the foreigners that, are called, what are they called? Afrikaners?
Afrikaners, yeah.
Afrikaners. They are in an uproar. Their white fragility has kicked in. They're sending out SOS signals all around the world
even
to
Trump.
Sympathizers. They're asking Trump to allow them to become refugees, grant them asylum, and let them come into the Americas so they could help, oppress, Americans.
They could bring the perfected apartheid.
They could bring their
here.
perfected apartheid here.
Because
in Australia,
this is a system that has swapped out apartheid with them. Anyway,
basically, yes. So they reached out to the other Boers in South Africa, you know what I mean? Because of their relationship with the Australians, because of their relationship with the white Australians and whatnot. And, this conflict is, this conflict has ramifications, I'm sure, on a global scale. This conflict may be an issue for the AFRICOM, who are looking for reasons to basically, extend their footprint on the continent. They've already utilized other conflicts to extend their footprint. They're currently in conflict in 53 countries out of the 54 on the continent. 55, but they're in 53,
right.
engaging in either small-scale proxy wars, secret wars, black ops, whatever you call it. They have their footprint on the continent.
And doing what the CIA does, right?
Doing what the CIA does. And they've even, China even had to come out this weekend and basically, reiterate what its role in Africa is because of America's interference through propaganda. I mean, there's two propagandas going at each other, because China in Africa, according to the Africans that I spoke to, is not something that everybody in Africa is excited about. But they're basically betting on the lesser of two evils. You feel me?
Politics, right?
Yeah, the political aspect. They don't want the European and they don't want the white American on their land. They're more susceptible to take the Asiatic because of the because of the historical relationship with the Mongol or the Manchurian in Africa and things of that nature. Not to say that their presence is not something that raises all kind of red flags as well. I'm just giving you the skinny on what the conversation is.
Indeed. Right. So, you know, we have to take into account the percentage differences, the numbers they were talking about here.
Facts.
You know, what percentage of Afrikaners actually exist in South Africa? Do you know?
I know that they're the gross majority.
Yeah,
I mean, the gross minority.
Gross minority. It's a very
might be
small
10%,
minority.
11 or 12.
And they control the majority of resources in this country. Of course, by way of the destabilization of that that particular government. So they had the Truth and Reconciliation, where these Afrikaners were, forgiven.
Mm-hmm.
You know
the clerk
what I'm saying?
and all
Yeah,
of them.
they were given a slap on the wrist and forgiven.
A pat on the back.
By Mandela and the ANC. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But none of that
materialized
into power transfers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was just window dressing.
Facts.
It was almost like the Civil Rights Voting Act and all that other stuff, but it's like, oh, we're gonna desecretize and we're gonna take this down and take that down, and you know what I'm saying? They took the hoods off and folded them and put them, under the mattress, but that doesn't mean that the sentiment ever left. That don't mean that everyone ever got remedy from the thousands of bodies that were swinging.
Basically.
You know what I mean? And no one ever took stock. That
No atonement.
Yeah, no atonement. All of those young faces in the crowd that were looking and smiling and gleeful of those swinging bodies are now the judges and the mayors, you know what I'm saying, and the policymakers and the senators and the congressmen and all of these things.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, they're intertwined in society. So yeah, that's what you see taking place in South Africa, all right? There are a lot of things, there are a lot of developments that are taking place on the continent simultaneously.
Yes.
There's a lot of talk about Wakanda forever.
Yeah.
This post-Wakanda world that we're living in.
We're seeing
pieces begin to move. Yes. We're seeing conversations and meetings and forums being,
enacted and had that kind of, push towards
a possibility of, a new dawn.
Yeah, this has
on the
to
continent.
be set up this way for this to actually
exactly.
So 44 countries agreed to a free trade pact in Africa, the largest ever, on the planet, to have a free trade zone that is non-restrictive. I think South Africa and Nigeria did not.
They're the holdouts.
Participate. Yeah, they're the holdouts.
So picture all of the different countries on the continent being able to not look outside of its borders, its continental borders, but actually look towards its neighbors who they may have historically had issues with,
right,
because of tribal differences. Uh-huh. You dig what I'm saying? And now they're saying to themselves, in order for us to realize this, they're not necessarily saying Wakanda, but it's perfect timing. So in order for us to tap into our kingship, in order for us to tap into our economic sovereignty,
autonomy, right,
in order for us to tap into our autonomy, in order for us to tap into the vibranium that exists, that's buried all in these mountains, right, all in these caves, and all in the soil.
We're talking about the coltans and different minerals.
The zinc, the copper, the diamond. I saw a pastor in Zimbabwe fire up his congregation on Facebook. They have a video that's going viral. He's not speaking the word of the gospel. He's not reading from the Bible. He's speaking from the heart. And he's telling his congregation, it looks like a mega church, about the fallacies of just praying and wishing on a star versus getting your hands and getting ownership of your resources.
I had a meeting earlier with someone who was very resourceful, and they have point people on the continent that are, making some plays and doing some things. And what the brother communicated to him is that, he asked him, he said, what percentage of resources do you think the Europeans were able to extract out of, the continent during their time there?
Yeah.
Some people said 50%. Some people said 30%. Some people even said 60%. He sat back and he said, 1%.
Yeah.
1% of the continent's natural resources is what these Europeans have used to amass the level of wealth that they have amassed. But there's still 99% of mineral resources that are left on the continent.
Untapped.
So there is exponential potentiality for people to build that bridge and to now, partner with their family and allow themselves, to really reap the benefits of the continent, of the mother.
Well, in the age of the entrepreneur, in this age of entrepreneurship, in this post-Wakanda reality where the majority of Black America got this digital download about what the future could look like. They got a glimpse of the Afrofuturism about a better future, a better tomorrow. And what this deal signifies is that for those of us who have the means, who have the resources, the brothers and sisters who might not even have a family yet, who can travel for months on end, It's time now. There's we have a travel agent. There's 2 travel agents that we are affiliated with. One of my travel agents is a brother African brother out of Harlem from Ghana. He does some wonderful trips. We're working on a package for the continent. You know what I'm saying? So we could basically take our listening, our audience, our family, and go over there and begin to sniff things out. You understand? Because it's time to actually, because we can't sit back in America and see what's going on, the pieces that are moving on the continent, and just hope and pray and wish that. No, we got to actually help move some of those pieces as well. We have to put our bare feet on that dirt, on that soil. We got to bring those spirits back with us, and hopefully things will begin to move in a faster pace. But that's some good news coming off of the continent. And there also is talk about one currency as well.
Okay.
So we're seeing the gears begin to move and shift. We're seeing South Africa stand up, Zimbabwe damn near standing up, because they were telling the white farmers that they were going to give them land back, and then recently they reneged on that. Now we further think about it. I don't think about it. Nah, we ain't doing that. So we're going to keep you updated with all of the developments that definitely will be unfolding. And for those who are watching this video, if you have information that you want to share, that's why the comment section is there.
Yeah, even the Ghanaian president, when he gave the French president that work.
He gave the French president that work. So Bill Gates was just in Nigeria with their government trying to give him that work. And, according to reports, they were giving him the cold shoulder. But, just got to keep our eyes out, because there's a lot of people that are going to try to play the game. But remember, production is everything. Production is key. And the continent is going to be the hotbed of global production. They're going to take a page out of China. China is making sure that that's what happens. Okay? So Black America, it is your time to disrupt what is taking place on the continent. Like I said before, go to 116th, what is known as Little Africa. Go into DC with the Ethiopians. Go into Atlanta with the Ethiopians. Build bridges with the ones who are from the continent that are on the land in America, on this land. They came here to get the bag. You could go there and get the bag, but you have to build a relationship with them that are here first. You can't bypass them and hop on the continent like you some hot shit. They might send word back that, but go ahead.
Well, I did have a comment on that, but I'm gonna leave it alone. I was about to say, ain't that's what they did here? They bypassed us and set up shop over here.
Straight up.
So,
Well,
but
yes, they did. I'm being diplomatic.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that, you know, the Debo approach.
My whole thing is like, if your whole existence is of an ostrich and you got your head in the sand, everybody's gonna hop over you.
Okay.
You dig?
Moving on, since we're talking about, you know, economics globally, it seemed like everybody thought the world was moving in this direction of cryptocurrency in January. People was taking out their savings account. I mean, dudes was acting like this was it. The dollar was about to be
before.
Yeah, this was Wakanda before Wakanda.
It was vibranium before.
So Bitcoin was big talk, Ethereum, Redcoin, and there was a couple of them. Litecoin.
Living like T'Challa in the hood for a minute.
So yeah, the cryptocurrency was big talk. It seems as though since January, it's about to be April.
Yeah.
Social media has attacked cryptocurrency. Governments has attacked cryptocurrency. Yeah. The banks have attacked cryptocurrency. I mean, cryptocurrency has been attacked from every angle possible.
Fact.
And it seems it's not doing too good right now in comparison to where it was at in January. Yeah. So what can y'all tell me? Where do y'all think this cryptocurrency is really going at this point? Was it just,
for those who got in last year during its heights, and you were able to cash out, salute to you. You know what I mean? You were the winner in this whole theater of cryptocurrency. Like, you were the guys that were using BitConnect before they tanked. You know what I mean? And were able to wisely, you know what I mean, see what was coming down, because, you know, if you were paying attention to what they were doing, anytime anything receives all of that media attention from this mainstream media that's in collusion with everything that's not good for you, well, that should tell you something. That would have told me that there's a play. Right? Yeah, that's a signal that something is coming down the pipes. According to my research,
because the media is like, homie in Belly, what's his name? Ricky,
I don't like that shit.
I don't like that shit.
Yeah.
That's media.
I don't like that shit at all.
I
don't like that shit at all.
It's not a revelation like, this is just one. They're like, wait,
they took
somebody's not eating.
They took the Ricky approach.
I don't like that shit.
I don't like that shit at all.
They had the niggas on CNN eating a banana like, I don't like that shit. So they stifled the cryptocurrency with all of the Senate hearings. When Facebook and Google came, they said we're not doing any advertising on ICOs, on cryptocurrencies. So the big tech got behind crushing big tech, because the blockchain and cryptocurrency is supposed to be big tech. So the banks, big tech, Silicon Valley, right? Mainstream media, that arm, they all got together and they were like, look, we're going to put a halt on it. And as early as yesterday, they came out with a verdict. I believe it was the SEC, and they put a freeze on the ICOs in the USA for 12 months. Ooh. You feel me? Dang. There's no ICOs in the USA. And then they're talking about all of the tokens are going to be deemed securities. So the IRS is also on people's backs that have $10,000 or more and all of this stuff. So,
and that was foretold. You know, a lot of what I see, it was foretold. They said this was going to happen. Yeah. And then you had people on the other side that was like, that's not going to happen. And, you know, a confluence of things have happened that have kind of stalled it. You know what I mean? It's like crickets on my timeline.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I got my wallet. You know what I'm saying?
I got my wallet.
My wallet is sitting, and you know, maturing.
We said from day one, blockchain was really what needs to be studied.
The technology of blockchain. The
technology behind cryptocurrency, which is blockchain, is still something that is revolutionary. Cryptocurrency, to me, still is revolutionary. It's going through a very turbulent down period because it's being attacked. You know what I mean? It's being attacked from all sides and all corridors. But I foresee that at some point this year, it's going to
skyrocket. One of the reasons why people missed the last wave is similar to what we see now. I remember last year this time being completely turned off by Bitcoin because of all of the negative press, because of what I was seeing taking place, because I thought that they were basically they were putting that thing in the grave. And then I didn't pay it any attention, and a few months later, all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? It was exploding. So shout out to all of my FUDs out there, all of the brothers and sisters that are sitting on those coins, whether they're altcoins or Bitcoins. Shout out to everybody who is patient. Shout out to everybody who are risk takers. Shout out to everybody who understand the gamble of dealing with not just Bitcoins, but any kind of stocks, any kind of thing, any kind of
that appreciates
and depreciates. You have to know the game. Do not play the game if you have not read the rule book.
Right.
Now
On the other hand, Powerball is 500 million.
Yeah, feel me?
How about that?
We was doing our due diligence.
How about you namaste and getting you some? No, go ahead.
We were doing our due diligence since the beginning of the year, and I believe on every Melanin Monday upload that I was doing, we were talking about Bitcoins and we were talking about crypto. I sent out about 500 blockchain for dummies PDFs free of charge to everybody who was interested in doing research. And then we were having conversations about an investment club. But based off of what we were seeing taking place in the market, I was telling the family, not yet. You know what I mean? Not just yet. Especially it was January and February, right after the holidays. People didn't even have the money to invest. We were waiting for the tax seasons to make that move. But even when tax seasons came, it was the price was down, which means it's really time to buy in when everything is down and keep it a buck. Like even with all of the pressure that these coins are getting, this is really your time to step in and do what you couldn't do last year because the prices are low. It's the same thing if the stock market was in the toilet. Well, God damn it, go and get your Nike stocks. Go and get your Apple stocks. Just make sense about, don't get no Facebook stocks. Based off of consumers' appetites. Based off of what holidays are coming up. Based off of what quarters are coming up, what companies are going to explode. I will buy Nike stocks because the summer and the spring is here. Right. You niggas are finna buy sneakers.
H&M is down 44%.
I will buy Louis Vuitton stocks because they named Virgil from Off-White their creative director. I know how to play the market. So I would encourage brothers and sisters who have $1,000 to invest. If it's your life savings, if it's your 401k, you dig what I'm saying? If it's that re-up money, you know what I mean?
Your baby's tuition.
If it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't do that. Don't, you know, if it's child support and you siphoning off, don't do that. Put that into something a little bit more reliable. I wouldn't necessarily say that the crypto is right now. Get into Forex trading. You know what I'm talking about? You might want to invest in the mining of cryptos. I don't know. There's options out there. There's a page on IG called Investment is Simple, I think. Investing is Simple. I usually put their post up. I just put a post up of 20 ways to make residual income, even if you got a 9-to-5. There's so many different ways. So I would tell the family to just, continue to study blockchain technology, because it's not just cryptocurrency inside of blockchain. There's smart contracts. You know what I mean? There's all kind of different. It's
ideological. Upgrades.
There's like four different. There's like 4 different disruptors that come out of blockchain, and one of those disruptors would be cryptocurrency. There's 3 more. So study the blockchain. We're still in the collectively. We still have to create in our minds the Wakanda coin. Right? Wakanda. You know what I mean? We still have to create our own cryptocurrency eventually, but let whatever's gonna happen, and let people do what they do, and let this thing settle and do what it has to do. In my humble opinion, the banks are going to control cryptocurrency in the future. You feel me? Wall Street and Goldman Sachs, they're going to make their own crypto coin. They love the technology. They just didn't like the fact that you niggas was eating off of it. They're going to take it over. They're going to steer this thing. The US dollar is being directly challenged by China. They have their own new petrodollar. So that's almost done with. I mean, it was already on the ropes, stumbling and whatnot. They finna give it the uppercut and get it out of here.
Can you talk about what else is going on with US and China?
Yeah, we'll get to that. You want me to jump in? Yeah. Well, there's a war taking place.
What do you mean by that, brother?
Well, right now there's
red flare? What do you mean?
Well, not really rockets red flare, but trade war.
Oh.
The USA that slapped $60 billion tariffs on imports coming out of China, electronic goods, which is going to directly affect the brothers and sisters that are tapped into the age of entrepreneurship.
You mean my portable Bluetooths?
Or the portable Bluetooths.
What you enjoy?
Yeah, the hoverboards, you know what I'm saying? The flat screen TVs.
The knockoff iPhones?
The knockoff iPhones.
The sex dolls?
The sex dolls, the ones that got motor sports. You know what I mean? They got motor sports. Take that thing to court. You know what I mean? The glasses with the camera, all electronics coming out of China, especially those who are in the drop shipping business, especially those who are getting money from Alibaba and Alipay. They're doing business with these behemoths. Alibaba is bigger than Amazon. Alibaba is based in China. Jack Ma is one of the richest men on the planet. He's the owner of Alibaba. And Trump said, yo, why don't y'all let us import some stuff into China and we could eat? So he's going to bat for...
What could he be possibly thinking about importing?
Porn.
US-wide.
Stormy Daniels, best of. Maybe toupee. Maybe he's imported hair plugs. I have no idea.
Oh, you got the Trump lace front?
The Trump lace front, the Trump inches and whatnot. The Trump Hawaiian. They got the Trump Remy and whatnot. You know what I'm talking about? You wanted to get the Trump Remy? The orange Remy? So... I don't know what the hell America could import into China that they want to consume.
That China don't have. Yeah.
That China can't make and that they don't have. They done cloned the rappers. They got Chinese dudes with face tats mumbling. You know what I'm saying? What else is there? So they're saying so when you do the knowledge on war or warfare or the art of war or the political science that gets behind war, there are levels to war.
Yes.
War begins out based off of a war between intellectual ideals and concepts. That's where war begins, on that level, with ideas and concepts. He who wins the war is able to now incorporate their ideas. They're able to incorporate their mythos, their concepts, their religion. All of these things get ushered in. Their folklore, all of that stuff. So when you see an economic war taking place or a trade war, remember the spice war, remember the opium war, you know what I'm talking about? Remember all of the other wars? They had their beginnings, their humble beginnings in trade. It was always monetary. It always had something to do with the bag. So Trump...
all wars are naturally fought over resources.
Over resources.
Right, so that's business anyway.
So yeah, there's a play taking place with the US and China based off of these trade wars. Now, China answered all of that aggression, I think on Sunday or Monday, and they introduced the yuan or their petrodollar, the Chinese petrodollar that Russia just signed a 30-year gas deal with China and whatnot. So they might take their gas reserves that they were feeding Europe and now redirect that through China. Now, the reason why America claims that they jumped on China with this trade war is because they said, we don't agree with the Silk Road that you're rebuilding. The reason why we don't agree with the Silk Road that you're building is because it extends into Africa. You understand what I'm saying? Your Silk Road, you're reviving the Silk Road. If anybody's not familiar with the Silk Road is a historic trading route that basically connects Russia, China, Eurasia, Little Asia, Asia Major, Asia Minor, North Africa, Egypt, you know what I'm talking about? And it goes over into the Mediterranean and sometimes makes it into Europe. You feel me? But it doesn't necessarily have to. So China is going to empower the continent of Africa as well in their Silk Road tradings. So America, of course, who always feels like, you know what I mean, they're left out of the party, especially with this administration and these cowboys and the mentality of make America great again and whatnot. So they're basically applying pressure to their allies and to their friends all around the world, which China is none. It's not one of, China is a majority shareholder in U.S.A. Okay?
Right.
And they own the majority of this corporation alongside Saudi Arabia. That doesn't make them friends. They're not bosom buddies. There's a rising up of a superpower. Simultaneously, there's a faltering of another.
Right.
So you're looking at this thing take place. And all you red-blooded Americans watching this, wrapped in your flag while you watch Black Magic 363, you probably all in your, you know what I'm saying? You all in your feelings and whatnot because America is falling, like Elijah said. But guess what? You know what I mean?
They're like, well, get out.
Yeah, get out.
Well, get out.
Why don't the pills just get out?
Why don't you get out?
I got a ticket for you. You know what I mean? Well, you know, this was prophesized. All empires all come to a close. They all slow down eventually. And according to every single indicator that you could pull out of a rabbit's hat, it's pointing to this empire, what is known as the decline of this empire,
right,
or what you know as Babylon is burning. So, of course, the major players around the world have paid attention to it. What better time for China and for Putin to boss up than when this retard is in 1600 Pennsylvania? Like, what better time to step up and skirt on them?
Screechers on the.
When you got a reality show, you know what I'm saying? Reject as the president. This is opportune time. You know what I mean? Like, everyone was waiting for this. So they're making major moves. They're making big plays. You know what I'm talking about? They're linking up with other allies. And you may see now the makings or the inklings of what we may know as the Third World War. Because in Syria, as we speak, I don't want to jump all over the place, but this is around the world in 16 minutes.
In Syria, a bomb went off in Damascus and 44 people got killed. And for anybody that's a Bible thumper or a Bible toter, you know what your Bible says about bombs going off in Syria. And I've repeatedly told you, goddammit, about Damascus and dealing with 44. Damascus, Kabbalistically, is 444. You know what I'm saying? And every time a bomb goes off in Damascus, as I've showed in my lectures, 44 people die. It's either a twin bomb or 44 people die, or it's a twin bomb and 44 people die. But this time, last week, they killed 44 people in one of the deadliest attacks in the city. Damascus, which is the capital of Syria, is considered neutral ground because of its biblical law. No war is supposed to come there.
Yeah.
But, bombs, they just tore it up. So
so America is in there fighting with Russia. Israel is in there fighting against Iran, and missiles are flying all over the place. People are dying. People are getting washed. People are getting bombed. And that eventually is going to spiral into a bigger conflict. The theater is set, you know what I mean? The chairs are set out, you know what I mean? It's just all you got to do is light the match, and it's on and popping.
You in the movies, they still doing the coming attractions.
Yeah, the pop. They telling you
you in your seat. You know what I'm saying? They tell you that the the whole Coca-Cola. We own this coming attraction play. You know what I'm saying? They got Coca-Cola on the popcorn thing. Anyway, yeah. So all that is taking place. You know what I'm saying? This is what you're looking at. You dig?
Mm-hmm.
Well, just to bring it home to America. Me and you touched on this Facebook thing. It seems like it's getting worse and worse, bro. Like people are saying that their phone calls, their text messages.
Tell me about this.
Like, yeah.
Yo, I just downloaded my. They have all the how you could download your file and see all of the stuff that Facebook has been saving on you.
You download your archive.
I downloaded my archive yesterday.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm about to. They gave me the impetus to. I could do my biography now.
Damn.
My whole life is there. It's in multiple folders. It's things that I can't even find anymore. You know what I mean? Digital files. Yeah, they basically have they have my biography.
They have a thorough dossier.
They don't got my biography, of course. You know what I'm saying? They don't know what happened in the in the Magik room, but But anyway, you don't know what they know because
They know.
Zuckerberg admitted the other day.
I used to always have this premise of a movie that I wanted to write called Static. Remember I told you about that? Mm-hmm. Where the government just one day you wake up and they send you all of the emails with niggas who you swore was your best friends talking crazy about
all that smoke.
All that smoke ends up in your inbox. You know what I'm saying? You start ending up with these memos, these phone memos, these voice memos to your phone, and you really find out what people is talking and feel about you. So Zuckerberg really know your business. He know what this nigga really think about you.
Facts.
Why you think that's your people's.
Facts.
You understand?
That's how
Facebook got the skinny. Meaning, yes, the FBI has the skinny. All right, they got the whole organizational charts of what buttons to push because they know that, he thinks he's a bitch ass nigga and he's, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? He ran up in his shorty, you know what I'm saying? Because all of that, you on Facebook, if you're not on FB telling all your business, you're damn sure on the phone telling your business. And even if you ain't on the phone, you in a room telling your business with your phone in your room and you, based on your terms of agreement, allowed Facebook or the FBI to come into the room with you and eavesdrop. Ain't nobody taking no batteries out their phone or none of that.
Fear of a Black or More Messiah. 1. Coin, Tel, Pro 2.0, right? I said the coin is the bag. It's from your penny all the way to the Bitcoin. It's all of the money, and they basically are controlling people based off of the bag. You know what I mean? They're buying people, they're paying people and whatnot, paid informants and all of that, right? Tel is your telecommunications, right? The fact that your smartphone is a surveillance device unto itself. They don't have to spend the amount of money that Hoover and them was spending on surveillance. They don't need Agent 800 anymore. Your phone is an agent. Fact. Your phone is an agent provocateur. You know how everybody like, yo, niggas is agents. Nigga, your phone is an agent.
You an agent unto yourself.
You know what I mean? Like, you an agent unto yourself, you bird ass. So the phone is telling on you. Everywhere that your location is known. So they're able to gauge, they could create a psychological profile based off of your everyday movements.
I watched the Aaron Hernandez story, right?
Yeah.
I think it was on Lifetime, one of them joints, right? And the Aaron Hernandez story. In the Aaron Hernandez story, they were able to convict him, right? Mm-hmm. Based on them being able to place his location and all of the hit points because of his phone.
His pen.
His phone, his phone pinning all of the cell phone towers. Mm-hmm. Right? So I had people that work in the courts to tell me, look, this is how they adjudicate, this is how they're trying all cases now based on cell phone information.
Yeah.
Based on social media, right? Yeah. And cell phone information, they're convicting people.
So
hands down.
Tel is the telecommunications, right? Pro is the GoPro, it's the camera. You're surrounded by there's a sky, there's an eye in the sky, if you're in major cities, you're surrounded by what they call the iron ring. You know what I'm saying?
So they booked him based on his cell phone pings and all of the circumstantial evidence, as well as the surveillance cameras that were in all of these opportune places.
Gas stations,
neighbor's house across the street.
all that.
They was able to piece together his profile. This is where you was at. This is who you was with. This what time you was here. This what time you was there. He had cameras in his crib
Yeah.
showing him with the biscuit,
Yeah, so
the blicky. Yeah.
if Facebook admits that they're recording your calls and they're saving all of your text messages,
Which they already told you in the beginning when they brought Messenger out.
and they told you that with Messenger, they said
told you that.
Messages basically
We recording everything.
recording everything.
They said we can listen to your phone calls when you're not on the phone. They told you this. And they deboed me to get Messenger. They
deboed
appeared like
me
they was
later.
giving you an option,
Yeah.
and they didn't give you an option.
I remember that.
No, there
pulled
was a
the plug.
loophole. There was a loophole. There was an option. There was a loophole where you could sign up to your Facebook through Gmail or something, through Google or something. Then they closed that loophole.
That's what I said. They pulled the plug.
So
Yeah.
I'm at a crossroads. I might join this guy's club and delete Facebook. You know what I mean? I use Facebook for information gathering and things of that nature, and to connect with people who I haven't connected with.
I
But
read it. Facebook to me is the newspaper.
yeah,
I
but
go
you
to
know,
see
I might
news.
have to. And me deleting all of my stuff means nothing, because like I said, I downloaded this folder. Yo, my dossier. It took about an hour to download. It's heavy. You dig what I'm saying? I'm gonna use it for some goodness. I'm not gonna just be in the victim bag. And we're gonna do a gallery show, the Red Pill's life or something. I don't know what to do with it, but I gotta make something of it. But yeah, they've been capturing a lot of information over the years. A lot of information over the years. People who have been buying data, I can see now why it's such a gold mine. I'm ready to build a damn social media site myself. You know what I'm talking about? Like, it's a treasure trove. And the cat is out the bag, stocks are falling. Zuckerberg with his non-emotional looking face, he's looking worried.
Even Elon Musk deleted his Facebook.
Yeah, Elon Musk deleted, you know what I'm talking about? He pouring fire, fuel on the fire.
Yeah.
And, you know.
Like no FB on Mars.
FB boss.
I would just say, I would say from a personal perspective to the family that's watching this, if you're not so invested in these social medias, you know what I mean? If you have the time, if you have the chance to pull away,
Right.
If you got 1 foot out, my G, get out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't need to be in this field that you may, get in the field that you have a complete understanding of. If you on some white hat, black hat, hacker type thing, and you understand everything, the ins and the outs, and you know how to get off the grid, you know, I would even say the deep web, but it's been brought to my attention that they even tap in the deep web, man. Don't believe the hype. The dark and the deep web, that's all government in and of itself. So if you can't get off the grid, get off of it. They don't need your baby pictures. They don't need to know your intimate thoughts. You know what I'm saying? They don't need to see all of the D pics that dudes are sliding in your inbox to the sisters that are out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't need none of that stuff. So if you can pull away, especially the way that we see how addictive it is, the way that we're seeing how it's conforming and making our people android and dehumanizing and desensitized, get out of that world. Get out the matrix. Take the red pill.
Moving on, we had a lot going on this weekend with the march in Washington. What's it called? The March for
Save Our Lives.
Save Our Lives.
The Parkland
And
students.
at the same time that's going on, we have a situation in Sacramento where once again, you know, nothing new. We've been seeing this throughout the last 5 years or something like that, where you know, these police killings. And recently, protesters blocked the entrance to the Sacramento Kings game.
Yeah.
That's their form of protesting. They're blocking the entrance to the Sacramento game. I think the owner the other day, he had to come out before the game and say something. And both
The
teams,
players
they
were wearing
wore,
in practice,
they was
yeah.
wearing the shirts and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's
So, you know, some people's mad at the whole gun control. They're saying that they only want gun control when it's the white children being murdered, but you know, here we have where the police is that's not gonna stop the police from murdering black people. So I guess talk about these two dynamics going on with the
yeah,
march in
I think-
Washington and what's going on in Sacramento.
I just want to,
Yeah, go ahead.
real quick, because what we're looking at is the power of crying white mothers versus crying black mothers.
The black, yeah. The black,
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And which one is worthy of sympathy and
Empathy.
internationally?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we see what white tears bring versus
black tears.
what
Black
black
tears.
tears bring.
Fact.
And to me, that's it in a nutshell. But I'm gonna let you go.
I mean, who are these Parkland students directing their questions? Who are they saying to give up their guns to? They're not talking to the niggas, you know what I'm saying? They're not talking to the hood. They're not talking to black America. So my whole thing is, why don't they become a little bit more direct? Yeah, they're going after the NRA and they're talking their thing, but why don't we address the issues at hand? Which is basically when we go into the majority of these shootings, whether they're in schools, whether they're in movie theaters, whether they're at country music concerts, we're dealing with white supremacy, white fragility, white inferiority, white males who have taken hunting culture, you know what I mean, who have been raised up probably since little children how to hunt, right, and kill.
Right.
In the name, they're killing in the name of hunting. You got Walmart, fam. You hold on. You got Restaurant Depot. You dig what I'm saying? You got Arby's and every single fast food restaurant that they could conceive of. They're killing more Americans eat meat on a daily basis, tons of it. I'm talking about hundreds and hundreds of millions of tons a week of animals. You don't gotta go in the damn woods and kill no damn animal. What you killing bears for? Like, you don't gotta kill deers and all. Your food is prepared at the butcher shop. It's given to you.
It's called sport. They do it for sport.
But this sport, right, on top of the fact that the majority of the school shooters were fatherless,
Yeah.
right? We're dealing with mental health issues.
They were on meds.
They were on
fatherless.
medication.
They were video game
fatherless.
players.
They were into video
Some
games.
of them were ex-military.
And some of them were ex-military.
Right.
When are we going to examine the culprit? When are we going to
Identity,
examine
yes.
the identities,
The psychological
profiles
dossier and profile
of these culprits, of these shooters?
Who are these children speaking to, again, at the end of the day? Who are they making their plea to? Because it was a great gathering of, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, I'm talking magnitude-wise.
Magnitude, I know.
Came together across the nation.
Kanye West.
Maybe it was even, they found, he came off the mountain,
Yeezy out.
Wyoming. They brought Yeezy out. You know what I'm saying? I seen Paul McCartney out there. Like, it was a great pulling of people into a particular forum to voice their, whatever they was voicing, but who are they voicing it to? The politicians, you know what I'm saying, and NRA and the lobby and what have you. But when are they going to get specific?
Now,
You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I have to retract and clarify my statement because I'm sure I'm going to have people say, "What do you mean? Are they telling black men to put their guns down?" Black men got to put their guns down because black men are killing black men. Black men are worse than the school shooters. Black men, their guns go off more than white men. We hear about white men and their massacres once a month. Black men, on the other hand, every minute I turn around, one of them is killing another one. Well, let me just share something with you, family. the Parkland students are not going to convince Ray Ray to put his chopper down. That's not how it works. You know, we were having this conversation about Tekashi 6ix9ine. You know what I'm talking about? And the fact that he goes viral with his videos. He's a gang member. He promotes gang violence. Blicky. He promotes gang culture. He has the blicky in the videos, meaning the hammer or the gun. But teenagers love him.
Facts.
They love him.
Right.
So, youth culture is being inundated with gang culture, is being inundated with black on black violence, is being inundated with these, everybody, you know what I'm saying? Go on Twitch right now and go look at the war, the Fortnite and Call of Duty and all of the numbers that they're doing. Fortnite, the other night, they broke a record. My dude was live streaming to 1 million people on YouTube. A million on YouTube. A million for Fortnite. So there's some hypocrisy taking place inside of
live streaming.
1 million showed up to watch him. Drake and them was in the chat room watching the damn game.
Damn.
Facts. There's a young European that makes $500,000 a month off of live streaming.
Oh no, I seen the YouTube numbers. They doing 17 million annually. Come on, yeah.
So,
hold on. This is your Patreon plug, my dude. Wake up over there, like talk to these people.
Sign up.
They doing 17 million a year on the tube, B. You know
on
what I'm
the
saying?
Tubi.
And they ain't pulling none of the videos, and they up there killing.
Do I gotta start playing video games live for y'all? I'm gonna bring back double dribble.
I'm pulling the duck hunt.
We
getting up on the screen like
y'all. What's happening? So
we about to get on Twitch.
I'm not discrediting.
Yo, we go to Twitch, man.
I'm not discrediting the youth movement.
We go to Twitch, man.
I'm not discrediting the youth speaking up about black on black violence, black on white violence, gun violence. I'm not discrediting the youth to say, yo, we want a better future. I have children, so I understand and I applaud any youth that's bold enough to speak up to their elders or their olders or to the older generation and say, look, y'all messed up and you're messing things up. They're not making the video games. It's being sold to them. You know what I'm talking about? They don't own the radio stations. They don't own MTV. It's being pushed upon them.
Right.
So they can definitely...
They're being marketed to.
They're being marketed to. They're being targeted. They're being demographically targeted. All right? The same way that Facebook was targeting, they know how to geolocate you and geo-target you. Well, the people who sell the video games, EA Sports, you know what I mean? All of these makers of these Rockstar and all of that with Grand Theft Auto, well, they're targeting their audience as well. Okay? They're targeting their audience as well. I went to a wrestling match with Amir at the Garden and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? They're targeting their audience. You feel me? You know what I mean? It's the American way, right? You know what I mean? Violence. You know what I'm saying? That's the American way. Guns and violence, right? Sex, drugs, rock and roll and whatnot. Nothing has changed. The most popular genre in the world or in America, what is deemed pop culture is what? Hip hop. Is it not?
It is.
So hip hop, especially the dominant genres, if you want to argue about it, go and look at the numbers. It's the mumble rappers, it's the trap rappers, it's the niggas with the sticks, the mops, and the blickies, okay? That's who's getting the numbers. That's who everybody is watching. And it's, you know what I'm saying? So white America's watching it, white suburbia is watching it. They're saying that it's only entertainment and whatnot, but people are dying. The jail cells are overflowing. The bodies that are being fed, the cannon fodder that's being fed into the machine has a direct effect on all of our melanated communities. There's 1.5 to 2 million missing black men. Right. And I'm not saying that they are.
Yeah. In essence, right, what we're saying is that the world celebrates the tears of black mothers.
Facts. When all of that's taking place, nobody's crying crocodile tears off of the fact that they picking up dead bodies in the streets all around Black America every night. When the reports on the Chicago massacres come out every Monday, you know what I'm talking about? They shoot so many people on a weekend out there. I'm like, God damn, fam. Like, what kind of smoke is that? Like, what kind of drama is taking place out there? 50, 60, 75 with you know what I mean? I'm like, damn. And they not getting hit with no handguns. Those same AR-15s, AK-47s, and all of that is being used on babies. They're shooting 4-year-olds with choppers, fam.
Yeah, Baltimore too.
Be more.
Getting tore up.
Be more. Where did somebody come from the other day? St. Louis.
Brother from B-More ran down on me yesterday in Harlem.
Yeah.
Giving me the skinny. He said it makes Brownsville look like Pleasantville.
I already know, bro. Shout out to my B-More family. I'm gonna be out there, I believe in May. We putting a flyer together right now, and we're gonna be in Atlanta on April 22nd with Griff. We'll get to that at the end. So there's all of these contradictions that are occurring. You know what I mean? I appreciate the fact that so many people gathered. I even heard melanated activists get up there and address the black on black issue and address police violence. They clarified a lot of things.
They got their voice heard.
They got their voice heard. They got it in. Martin Luther King's one of his ancestors, the young girl, is very vibrant and sharp and articulate. 11 years old. The young 11-year-old.
I was very impressed.
Yes, the young 11-year-old sister with the blowout. She was dynamic as well.
I was very impressed.
I am impressed with the words and the vision of the youth. Okay? I am thoroughly impressed with these crystals, with these rainbows and these indigos.
As somebody who is very cognizant of, you know, the Aquarian aspect of what we talk about and looking at the crystals and the indigos and always saying that, you know, change is going to come through the youth because, you know, these are the children that came out, they're digital, you know what I'm saying? They're not analog, they're Aquarian, they're virtual Aquarians. Mm-hmm. So to see them express this sentiment in such a way, to see them organize in such a short period of time, to see them polish in such a short period of time where their vernacular is just so on point, where they're pitching, you know, what it is that they're pitching globally, they're selling this thing. Yes. You know, whether I agree with it or not, that's outside of the fact that I know what I'm looking at and I'm like, whoa.
So white males will never give up their guns, young Parkland survivors. I'm just letting you know.
Buying more right now.
They're buying more now. They're never giving up their hammers. If anything is ever enacted, it's to take guns away from people that look like me and you. They're going to start with us first, probably. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, let's just go door to door because these children don't want any more shootings to occur. So we're going to have everybody register their guns and, you know what I mean? Like, there's an ulterior motive attached to it that I don't think these children are in charge of. Whoever is behind them pulling the strings.
Can you, Rich, can you pull the stat up? I think it should be available very quickly. How many guns are in the U.S. right now?
How many guns are in the U.S.?
Last that I was told, I think that they said that there's more guns
so
in the United States than
they're in different states. They're allowing people who are blind to get permits. They're allowing the mentally challenged to get permits. No, I'm dead serious. They're allowing people with convictions to get permits. So,
but they said if you got a weed card.
But if you have a weed card, you're out of the running.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No hammer for you.
Yeah,
so,
well, the first stat that I pulled up, this article was written in January of this year. They're saying that in 2015, they calculated that there was over 357 million
more
firearms nationwide.
Facts. More guns in the country than there are people.
Yes.
That's one hell of a police force that you have to enlist to get all of that under control. Under control. So the more that you take guns away from people, you're empowering those that still have guns because that's a standing army.
Exactly. And, you know, it's unfortunate that this news media or the mainstream media has become so draconian in their approach to, the way that they deal with opposing views. So they've actually created targets, or they've actually created sentiments towards these students amongst these Fox News, Red America, or their base, to where these children are now being deemed as, from they're survivors of a shooting, but now they got these people who love their guns because it's an extension of something that they might not have, or it's the great equalizer. It's what they took this country with.
Shout out Francis Cress Wilson.
You understand? Shout out to Dr. Francis Cress Wilson for explaining to us the psychology between the European man and that black gun that he loves to hold so much. You know what I mean? That he caresses. You know what I'm saying? That is his, that makes up for what it is that he does, that compensates for what it is that he doesn't have. You know what I'm talking about?
Go ahead.
So they're creating a situation where these children are now, along with the other people on the left, that the Red America is being programmed to eventually one day spill their blood. Let's just keep it a buck. It goes past hate. They're being groomed, the Red America, the neo-Nazi, the alt-righters, the Fox News, the evangelicals, the, you know what I'm talking about, small town, breadbasket, USA.
Remember Kingsman?
Yeah, the people who, and the people from Oregon that try to run out Osho, them, right? They're preparing them in this new upcoming civil war that they've always been stirring that pot, right? And they're putting these little children in the pot now. So instead of the people watching them and being flabbergasted, they're looking at them like, yo, we got to do something about this, because they're trying to come for our guns. They don't see nothing. They're not the victimhood aspect and all of that, trying to appeal to us, their sentiments. If you don't know who you're dealing with at this point, if you don't know, and it doesn't matter that these children are pale or they're European or they're white, go and watch the video, go and watch the documentary Wild Wild Country on Netflix about that group with Osho, who was the Indian guru who tried to move a bunch of white people into Oregon with another group of white people who lived over there. And you'll see that white people don't care about other white people like that. Like you may think that it's a white us against them thing. No, it's us against everybody who ain't with us.
Right.
That's how it rolls.
If you don't fall under that Christian criteria,
your boxes have to check out.
Yeah, you red. You part of the, you know what I mean? Remember they was coloring them?
Yeah.
They're part of the Red Scare.
Yeah.
Russians are Europeans. They white. You feel me?
The
These
Germans,
white folks they don't rock with them. They look at them as amoral. They don't have Christ in their life. So, I think we was talking the other day about that, you know what I mean? And I normally say when I leave, I'm like, damn, I could have said this and it would probably have painted that picture better. Mm-hmm. We were talking about the fact that these are people who come from a lineage where they're hunter-gatherers. They have to go and hunt and gather their food.
Facts.
It's the same thing with the fact that if you are in possession of stolen land, by force they took something. The guns represent the safety measure between the thing that they took. So you take something and then you protect what you took by any and all means. That's what this country is all about. We took this shit and we're gonna protect it. So what was the Osho shit? Oh, we feel threatened. We feel threatened.
Facts.
Just by your presence being here. Because we can't share this with you. You're different. Mm-hmm. You might be one of them.
Facts.
Right? So out come the guns. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Right? And they use the church as the shade.
As the shade.
You know what I mean?
They pull that out.
This Bible out to shade the fact that we got these biscuits and we ready to,
Facts.
Extend this bloodbath if need be.
And the only thing that stopped them,
you know what I'm saying,
was the fact that them other white people pulled their guns out.
They went and got guns because they know the game. So in this particular situation, sorry to these children, but that European, that white male will never relinquish the gun because the gun represents the safety in which he knows inherently he is immorally wrong for the things that he's done. So that's almost him committing suicide. Why would he relinquish the very thing that makes him feel safe? It's not God that he's relying on. God damn it, God is in that gun.
God is the gun. So I would suggest that the Parkland students, all of those young articulate rainbows and crystals, they should begin to speak about the plight of the white American Anglo-Saxon male and the fact that they're dying, their mortality rate is sky high. The fact that the majority of the ones that are wilding out, they're telling it to you in so many ways. The Texas bomber, oh, he was a troubled kid. The Parkland shooter, oh, he was a troubled kid. No, he was not just a troubled kid. He was the poster child for, if he was melanated, he would be in a juvenile detention center.
He would be a thug.
The police was at his house damn near 18 times. He was kicked out of school, or he was expelled for having a knife. He been deemed a threat. Dylan Roof, the same. There's so many others the same, but they don't do
sociopaths, right?
Sociopaths. They have sociopathic tendencies.
As children, the most what they can say about our children, they can't sit still.
They ADD.
They ADD, so they put them on Ritalin and Adderall because they can't sit still. You know what I'm saying? But you have baby sociopaths in your midst. You know what I mean?
You got little 3-year-olds gutting bears and pulling the heart out and things like that. Like, what's eventually gonna develop in the mind or the subconscious of a child like that? And you're dealing with people who have mental health issues. Not just mental health issues. You have to approach you have to approach it from a holistic standpoint. You gotta deal with all of that stuff. So are these children, are the liberals or the George Soroses and all of these white people that are in their ears giving them talking points and trying to, because I think the same people that did the Women's March was behind organizing this march, if I'm correct. I'm not 100% sure, but it's the left, it's the useful idiots. It's the quote unquote liberals. Right. Two wings of the same bird. Don't ever forget that. All right? These are not your friends. So they're called what? The useful left. Okay? Once they're finished, once the useful left lines you up and puts you on the van to get to the gas chamber, they get headshots. All right? They get their heads knocked off once their job is done. Because they're useless at that point. So I would love to hear the conversation about how are we going to diagnose the mental health conditions of, they're in Sacktown. They revived themselves to get behind the brother in Sacktown. Black Lives Matter. Yeah, they popped up in Sacktown. So I would love people to have that conversation. You know what I mean? Speak about the nature of these people who are out here killing mercilessly. And you gotta approach, or you have to speak about the 800-pound gorilla that's in the room. These are race soldiers putting in work, putting points on the board, and getting their names. You know what I'm saying? Basically, retired. Their jerseys are being retired in the quote unquote KKK Hall of Fame. Like Dylan Roof going to the electric chair. I'm sure he's ecstatic about that because he'll become a legend.
He's already a legend.
He's already a legend. The work got put in.
He become immortalized, right?
They will martyr him. He will become immortalized.
Well, man, y'all definitely did your thing tonight, man. I think to close it out, I just want to ask y'all about your opinion about, obviously y'all in the clothing, and that's something that, our culture has always been into.
Yeah.
And when people see y'all, they think about fashion. So I'm curious to know your opinion on Louis Vuitton naming, what's the brother's name?
Virgil.
Okay, Virgil, I guess he's the head of men's fashion. over at Louis Vuitton. And recently, earlier this year, we know that the Harlem legend Dapper Dan got his own spot in Harlem from Gucci.
Salute.
And this is something that we're celebrating, and we're happy for these brothers. But I'm curious to know your opinion. Do you think they should have gone the independent route? How do you see this as a move? Is this like a chess move by Louis and Gucci because they see the direction Coach is going in, or is this something we should celebrate?
When I saw the career reel for the brother Virgil, yes. I didn't know his accomplishments until the other day. Yes. He started out with Yeezy on the Yeezys. Yes. You know what I mean? He might even have been responsible for the comedic aspect of the Yeezys and whatnot with the let's not give him that, but yeah. Well, I don't know, but I know that he was
a design team.
He's part of a design team. Don C and them.
Yeah, the brother did a lot. He cut his teeth on a lot of different ventures, and he was independent, and he was responsible for a very successful independent streetwear brand.
Off-White.
Is that Ye's Don Dada or whoever?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
Off-White Air Forces. No, dark. So he's been independent, like Blue said. He went that route already. Mm-hmm. He was very successful with Off-White. You know what I mean? That was his clothing line. And this is just part of his portfolio. You know what I'm saying? This is the route that designers take. They become designers of big houses, brands and houses. I know Ye is somewhere bumping his head on the wall because he wanted to be Louis Vuitton's male fashion. You know, he wanted to he said that on Sweat. That was part of his rant. So Gucci picking up Dapper and Louis picking up Virgil. I mean, it's a no-brainer. Of course, it makes sense. These brands are mega hot in urban or the hood right now. Gucci had one of his best years last year. There's a new revival. Yeah,
Gucci is top amongst millennials, but they are crediting it to their Chinese customer. They said
China market.
The China
they ain't say nothing about the Migos.
They say nothing about the Migos.
They ain't say nothing about Gucci gang. No little pump shout outs. Yeah.
None of that. They're attributing it to the Chinese millennial market.
Because of the riches that are pouring into China now. So I think, it's wise on the behalf of those brands to pick up the designers. A designer's ultimate goal is to work with resources and strong brands behind them. So I wouldn't be a goofy and say that they're wrong for accepting the offer because they should have waited for Wakanda to call them. Like, it don't make no sense. Like, this is the world that these people exist in. This is their world. This is
what they're putting on for.
These are their ceilings. They're climbing these ladders and these are their ceilings. You feel me? So Dapper spent 30 years knocking off Gucci.
Right, trolling him.
Made his name off of, you know what I mean? I will never say bootlegging because he was doing Gucci better than Gucci in the 80s. How about that?
I'm looking at them pictures.
How about that?
Up until earlier today. You know what I mean? Because, Instagram got certain sites where they got all of the D-boys from the 80s. And
the old throwback.
Look at this. I'm looking at, that wasn't
Gucci,
never
real
met
Gucci
that
they was wearing. They didn't go to the Gucci store and sit down with white people to get fitted in. No, they were going to the hood, to Dapper. Yeah, that's at least when it comes to the 80s and whatnot, that's what I really respected because everybody's on this buy black and you know what I mean, we got to do it for Wakanda now. But back in the days, even when they had the bread, Delancey Street, Dapper Dan,
they wasn't
running to Saks
Hermes. They wasn't running up in Saks. They wasn't running
throwing all their bread on these. You know what I'm
throwing
talking
all
about?
that bread to the brands. They was not doing that. They was going to DAP. You know what I'm saying? They was going to the boosters. They was going to different outlets to empower their community. That money still circulated.
Mark 125. They were going to Mark 125 right across the street from the Shirt King. They were popularizing black entrepreneurs. Nobody talks about that. Nobody points that out. Carl Kanai. You feel me?
They were African American.
It's the newer generations that's slipping. I would never go inside of Gucci or Louis Vuitton and take my hard-earned money, 20 racks in singles. I don't care if I twerk for it. And it was a rain shower, and I picked it up in the bags, and I went and go get some bloody shoes. I'm not really that big on giving none of them my money. So for everybody that's running around pouring all of their bread into these brands, that's what you do. That's your personal spending habits. That's something that you gotta, I'm not here to watch your pockets and tell you what to wear and how to get what you wear. That's on you. Whatever you feel that's important, well, goddamn it, knock yourself out. All I'm saying is,
I think that, let's be for real, it means something in hip hop.
It does.
His position and his placement means something in hip hop. Because hip hop has given so much to these brands. Hip hop flirted so much with these brands. For them to blow a kiss back at hip hop,
yeah, that shit means something.
It means something to hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
I mean? They don't want to keep getting.
Yeah, they're not just infatuated with the clothes and the brand. They're infatuated with the house, the people, the designers, the fashion shows. The part, you know, the whole social setting
they into all of that.
These brands is what these people are into.
They don't care what them people is into, right? They don't care where they come from. They could come from Austria, Germany. Like, they don't care. They're into the ambiance of what these brands represent. They're still chasing that dream. They're still chasing that ideal. You feel me? It's called high fashion.
It's the closest to royalty that you're gonna get.
You know what I
mean? It's the high fashion. High fashion means high snooting, high society.
So I ain't gonna sit here in my Hotep bag and try to
say high snooting. I'm not gonna be even dismissive to say that. Let's just say high society. You feel me?
Mixed with hood.
Yeah, mixed with hood. So this is the closest that they get to play that game.
Facts.
Because this is still integration politics at the end of the day.
It's still integration
You want to get to the top of whatever said ladder exists and whatever said genre that you will participate in. In this wing of the house.
The shorties is wearing Chanel. Everybody wants to look like Jackie Onassis. That's the look now.
That's the aesthetic.
You know what I mean? They doing Celine. They doing you know what I'm saying? They doing the lower brands, but everybody's trying to look like what's Olivia Pope type things. You know what I'm talking about? Like, they want to step out and be part of this quote unquote. It's
a renaissance.
Man. It's kind of funny, and you know, like, I look at it like, look at these goofies, but it is what it is. It's a culture that we belong to. It's an aspect of the culture. And who am I to judge? I'm not here to tell nobody, because I know people will be like, oh, black men are wasting their money in Louis Vuitton and Gucci and they should be invested in. And well, if you're saying that, there's independent brands that are out here that are doing their thing, that are carrying the culture on their backs. You should be the ones, you should be some of the first supporters of these cultures. Give them resources, give them support. Become their patrons, whatever it is that you have to do to propel some of these brands to be on a level of Gucci and Louis in the next 20 to 30, because those brands didn't start off high end. They didn't start off where they're at now. They started off small as well too. Ralph Lauren, he started off small. People pushed him to that. He got support by his people and by the culture, and they pushed him into the places that they are right now. So salute to anybody that looks like us from our culture, climbing ladders and whatnot. I applaud you. It's still Wakanda forever.
And on that note, family, leave your contact info so they could get at y'all.
Blue Pillar. Wait, is it
44?
Oh, at Blue Pillar 44. That's on Instagram. Blue Pillar 44 at Gmail is the Gmail. Apparelnormal.com is the clothing. Soul Gold Biz, SOLEGOLDBIZ.com is where you're going to get your gold, your platinum, and your silver. All right?
Yeah. Patreon.com/Red Pillar is where you could come and make it ring. L_Filthmore. That's the Instagram. At EL_Filthmore. That's the Instagram. That's the Twitter. And the YouTube is Phil T. Moreland. And April 22nd in Atlanta, we're going to be at the Wadada Health Food Market. All right,
Yes.
That's a new location that we have in the
Ralph
West
David
End.
Abernathy is across the street from Soul Veg. I don't have the building number, but it's directly across the street from
Soul
West
Veg.
End Soul Veg.
Yeah,
okay?
Professor Griff.
Yes.
Red Pill and Blue Pill, Fear of a Black Planet Part 2. All right, and the day before that, we'll be in Lithonia with Soleil, Professor Griff, and me, myself. We'll be dealing with with the conscious community.
I didn't get the invite on.
And yeah, but it'll be a good weekend out in Atlanta, April 22nd, April 21st. Make sure you come through and support. You dig what I'm saying?
We're gonna have that twin album on deck.
Yeah, twin album on deck, Kings County on
hopefully
deck.
we'll have a performance
Paranormal
out
on
there,
deck.
something at the same time.
All that. You know what I mean? And we have other dates, but we're not gonna jump out the window and talk about everything. We're gonna focus on the Atlanta, the ATL, KTL and the ATL, April 22nd. Be in the building, be there. I don't know if we'll be live streaming. We'll keep you updated. Love and light to the family. Salute. Peace. All right?
Peace.
And twin the album.
Oh, make sure you're signed to patreon.com/blackmagic363.
That KTL app is coming back out in a day or two. Just give me 1 second, family. I'm finalizing something. But the app will be back in the building and we'll be keeping the family updated. We'll have all sorts of deals, sales, and exclusives, you know what I'm saying, by way of the app as well. All right? Hey!
Peace.
Hey. Yeah. Black Magic. Hey. You ain't never seen a man turn leg gold with his hands. You ain't never seen a man get a queen wet with a glance. Water turn wine, whole wide world mind in my mind. In and out of time, my light shine bright for the blind. Something about the way I do it. 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 Said I'm gonna be a millionaire soon, but I already knew it. I'ma that the bullets fluid. All this winning therapeutic. Something about the way I do it. Something about the way I do it. They be trying to drain my energy up with the battery is not included. Women trying to be recruited. Let them do it, then I bought it. What is cute, then she folded. Something about the way I do it. I remember playing ring around the rosy. Now I got a pocket full of OZs. Water dollars, wallet full of old cheese. Got a Glock, a cock and pop a police. Block a boom, shaka laka, bada shot him while he rock a rosary. Got your mama watching out the nose.